Alright, so welcome back to the shop. This video, I was trying to figure out how to do a second part of the first video, which was the DIY Cnc Plasma cutter. Ran into some issues with doing that, so I made it a laser cutter just to test everything and make sure everything works. And then I know it's been like a year since I started this project, but summertime happened and fishing season, and then had a baby and a couple other things going on in life, so I apologize for not making one sooner, but I'll try to just run down the things that I did. If you were curious from the last video, I built this enclosure here, just plexiglass. Didn't turn out the greatest, first one I ever tried to build. Definitely a few things I would have done differently, but I added this fan here to draft out the smoke from any operation I'm doing to outside. This was the electronics cabinet. It's still not even finalized because I wanted to make it modular to switch between laser engraving and then plasma cutting, and then also sometime in the future be able to do CNC routing. But anyway, for the controller I went with this black box, and then this is just the power source that came with the stepper motors that I got off eBay. And then I found this on Amazon. It's a real tree laser diode, and it comes with the driver. And then for the software I'm just using laser Gerbil, and then I also bought a Mach 3 for doing the milling operations, and then also for plasma. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm just gonna try and hook this plasma machine up, modify this tray to a water table, and I already know I'm probably gonna run into issues because this is not a low frequency machine, it's a high frequency machine, which in layman's terms, it could interfere with the frequency of the motors and cause it not to run smoothly, and then I guess worst case, if current went back through the system, it could get to these electronics. But I don't think that's going to happen just because it's sitting on a wood table, which is the ground, and it's not going to be touching any metal. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing to really figure out to get this plasma cutter to work, since I got the machine running, it was to this torch. It's angled. It would just take up a lot of space in there to get past all of this until it was like a nice fluid bend. So I bought this pencil torch that can mount directly to the axis that the laser's on, so it'll take its place. Then I had to figure out how I would switch it on and off with the controller from the computer and get it to interface with the software. So I just took this one apart just to see how it worked, and it's just 2 wires, just a switch. So whenever you press that button, this when the arc will fire and it'll push air through it. So I realized I didn't need to plug this one in from the torch. This is just basically to this push button, and I don't want to do it manually. I want the computer to do it, so I went to where this switch cable plugs in, and then just cut the wires right here. So once those wires connect to each other, it should turn the plasma machine on. So that will be the first step, getting it to fire with the software versus manually with a trigger. And then I'll start building the water table, which I have picked up these slats like last year when I started this. They're really cheap. I think they're an 1/8 inch, maybe 3/16. But anyway, these will be what the material sits on, and water will go through it, so I have to cut those and weld up a grid. And yep, so that's that. I'm only gonna build half of it because I don't want to waste all of the bar stock that I have. And generally I won't be making anything bigger than this anyway. So for now that'll work just fine, just for testing till I find out if I can even get this to work or not. So yeah, time to install this and then see if we get the plasma cutter hooked up. What I came up with so far, came up with this just to test the torch to see if I could even get the machine to interface with the control box. I just got this set up and then I wanted to make sure everything still worked before trying to troubleshoot software when it's really just the machine. So I just hooked this little switch up to these wires and check this out, push button, and it just probably blasted a hole straight through that. Let's see, probably, yeah, not even hot, but you see that hole. So we're in business there. All right, one more step to do and I'll have a CNC plasma cutter, hopefully. We'll find out. All right, so after a little bit of tinkering around, I figured out how to get this plasma cutter to interface. Oh, that's still hot. That was stupid. At least it wasn't hot enough to burn me, but oh man. All right, anyway, so yeah, I got it to interface with the software on the computer. So now the next step is to put this tray into the cabinet for the CNC machine and then figure out a way. It'll be easy just to hook up the torch to where this access where the laser is right there. So I'll try to make it modular so that can clip out and then the plasma cutter can clip in. And then all I did was just hook 2 wires into here where the manual switch would normally be on the controller, and then I just plugged it into the relay port on the black box, and then I opened up the open build software where you can interface with everything that's hooked up to the black box, and it has this tool icon right there and tool off. So yeah, all you have to do now is flip the switch on for the plasma cutter. I guess I'll slide that back under there. Then just go over here and go to the tool on and then click plasma cutter. Well, that sounded funky. It did blast a hole through it though, right there. Not sure why it was sputtering so badly, but anyway, got the first step figured out, and that was just to interface it with the machine. So now next step is to get it all hooked up in there, and have to make a few adjustments, and then I have to figure out a plasma cutting software, and then it will finally be a multi-function tool for 2 of the things that I wanted: plasma cutter, laser cutter, and then eventually it will also be able to do engraving. Just modular heads you can plug in and unplug. So yeah, it'll be a awesome tool to have in any shop. So I don't think they're available on the market right now. Maybe they are, but I don't know. It's cool. Always cool to get out there and just build something yourself. So yep, see you in the next one.